everyone, welcome my fab fans to Glam's new video. Do you have to just like doom scroll for hours because you're dreading a task, but you'd stop dreading it if you actually just did the task instead of dreading it? But I guess I'm still tired from being like kinda ill for a few weeks. Well, days. Something I will say though, if you have soreness on your nose from blowing it too much, I recommend Vaseline or Aquaphor. I prefer Aquaphor, but that's just because just use moisturizers more often on your face. And reapply often. It'll prevent the skin from peeling. It's like chapped lips. If you don't want them to be chapped anymore, keep applying chapsticks until they are no longer chapped. Though I will say, make sure it's like an actually good chapstick, not just any chapsticks. Because some chapsticks are not hydrating for the skin. Which is weird, because it's meant to make your lips not chapped. But they don't always. I've hit a point in the story where I have to write lines for a villain. I find it very difficult to make an evil character. But I think I'm gonna make them more psychopathic. Like they think they're doing something good, but they're not. They think they know better, but they don't. And they only know that they're not better after they're one-upped by a different character. Or outshined. To be fair, I don't know whether this character is gonna be seen as a bad character, or whether that their villainous is just truly twisted. But I want their ultimate thing to be a want and need for control over others. 'Cause some people will try to convince themselves why they're not a bad person, or why something they did isn't truly bad because of their intentions. I can tell you I'm a shitty person sometimes. I can be honest about that. Not everyone will be, and or can be. But as I grow as a person and as I learn more things about how to react to people, because I started with no idea what reactions meant. I will slowly learn how to understand others. I'm very bad at understanding people and their intentions. So if I don't think I'm capable of judging a person's intentions, I will separate myself from them. Mainly to keep myself safe. Because this world is filled with sickos and monsters. And usually they try to be nice. But it's all a facade. Just to get you to do things for them. Or to use you. I find it really cool when people send me gifts. And I appreciate every single one of them. But the only reason I really don't feel uncomfortable asking for anything like money or gifts is because of my family members, because it makes them stop attacking me when I show them, hey look, people are giving me things when I do this, or just because they think I'm cool. I don't need the gifts. I don't need the stuff. Even a single comment on my video is more than enough. That's a good gift. Showing your appreciation of my crafts, of my skills, of my effort. It doesn't need to have monetary value for me to like it or care. All that does for me is give me a reason for my parents to stop telling me to not do YouTube. YouTube has always been a place of comfort for me. It's been one of my favorite things, even when I was younger. Even if I have people being creeps in my DMs, even if I have people talking shit behind my back, because they assume what I'm thinking underneath my face. I talk in a very monotone way, and I can't hear tone. So people tend to get the wrong assumption behind my words. I've had people think I was sassing them when I was being straightforward and honest.
some people have called me cocky or a bragger or I think sometimes I've been called picky because I'm just like, no, my art isn't that great. Don't get me wrong, my art isn't shitty. I've seen some shitty artwork, but the thing is, I actually really love shitty artwork. I asked my friend if I could keep one of her drawings because I loved it so much. By the definitions of art, it is technically considered the shittiest art because there's no perspective. All the dimensions of the item are off. Meant to be a realism drawing, it looks like it was just contemporary art. Like, if a person just put a dot on the page and said it was some abstract thought. Which is ironic, because I hate when people, I hate modern art when it's just, like, random or messy with no real image. And then a person who says some confident bullshit behind it. Because I don't understand it. Which is not on them. And they don't have to get me to like their art. Okay. I like when people try to make art in a very particular way and then fail. I like seeing people fail, not because I want them to. I want to see them grow and get better at art. Don't get me wrong. But I like seeing their failures because it's just so cute. And I genuinely love seeing how they grow as a person. How every mistake shows their thoughts and how they think. I find it intriguing how multiple people can look at the same thing and create completely different images. I hope you know that art piece, it is taped to my wall. And I think I have an art piece from each of the friends I ever had that did art. And I genuinely keep them. One of them's in a frame, but that's because it just fit with the other art in it. But one is just taped to my wall, like a poster. And I just look at it and it makes me smile so much. I genuinely appreciate her art. Even if it was technically shitty art, I love it the way it is. Like when someone says that's a shitty cosplay, it's not shitty, you just don't like it. And I kind of love it. Because I see potential. I see your love and inspiration and want.
I guess I see and feel the emotions behind it when it's something I can understand. Maybe I'm weird. Probably. I know I definitely think differently than a lot of people. But I'm also probably describing how I feel about things badly. I hope I described that well. I'm also very loosely saying shitty. And I'm definitely quoting that because I think it's wonderful. I love her art and I think it's wonderful. It's the best thing on my wall. But conceptual-wise, it would definitely get a shitty grade in school. Because it's missing on certain fundamentals of art. Something people don't think about though is I don't have a degree in psychology. I'm working towards getting my bachelor's in psychology, but my actual degree is an associate's in art. I like art. I'm gonna say this now though, I accidentally got an associate's in art. I was actually trying to get my general studies degree, but I guess I failed history really badly, so they were just like, you can have the art one. I definitely missed a requirement or something on the general studies one. I could have done the general studies, but I guess I got the arts one because I took so many art electives. I'm not gonna lie, I just took whatever classes met whatever criteria I was told I needed. I only took a bunch of art classes because they were gonna be easy grades. I will say though, I did fail one of the art classes, and the reason was, it's because it was my most hated art form. Abstract. I fucking hate abstract art. God, I hate it so much. I was trying to remember the word abstract for this entire, like, segment about art. When I say though, I would probably be a better teacher if I was in person teaching rather than online teaching, because I'm a very hands-on person when it comes to things. I think I have a bruise on my nose. Oof. I will say though, my one of my art teachers was Ukrainian, And this was back when there was, like, a big, like, discussion on the Ukrainian war. Like, Russia versus Ukraine. Which, I don't know why we stopped hearing things about it. I don't know what the resulting things are of that. I don't watch the news. I can't fix anything that I see on it. And it just makes me upset that nothing is happening to solve issues. That I'm just gonna not watch the news. I would rather be happy and content. I don't mind being ignorant. But also the news is very much propaganda. So, if you know how I feel about propaganda, then you'll know that that's another reason I would never watch the news. It's because I believe they're trying to brainwash us into seeing one thing versus others. Basically trying to force us to have a choice and be against each other. How about we stop being against each other and start looking for reasons to just either ignore what we don't like or just be nice to each other? I don't know. There was a point in time where I kept getting a bunch of religious comments in my videos, and don't get me wrong, I don't hate religions or religious people, but I think most religions are cults. And it's mainly because they just seem very controlling, honestly. I mean, I posted the definition of the difference between religions and cults. And, well, most religions that I've seen fall more under the cult section than under the religion section. People who follow the religion, not all of them are the cult version of it, but there are some within that using it as a cover-up. So that's why I say be very picky with churches, and or stay and make your own, just alone, for you and your family. But I've always been taught that religion is like a private matter, and that you shouldn't share about it unless asked. Like, a person's curious, they want to learn more about other religions, then share away. I love learning about other religions and the details behind them. And usually the details behind them are be nice to each other, do not hate each other, yeah. But almost every Bible I've ever read said we were already saved from our sins. We just have to be kind to each other. And the amount of people that use religion as a way to attack others, it scares me. I will say this as a person who's been attacked by people who were religious. Not everyone within those religions are mean. I have met just as many good people in any type of situation as I have bad. It's a 50-50. But I'm going to talk about the bad ones right now. The people who have attacked me because I have a different religion than them. they use their religion as an excuse to be a bad person. That's sacrilegious. But also, I had a person comment, "Why are you dressed like a demon?" And I'm like, and they were like, "You shouldn't worship the devil." And I'm like, I don't. I don't worship the devil. Like, I was dressed up as Alice Angel. She's just, I mean, technically her character is an angel. She does have demon horns, yes. Though I've also been dressed up as Bendy the Ink Demon, so. But it's a video game character. I just like the art. Like, if I like what something looks like, is that really anything bad? I like art. I'm an artist. That's my thing. If a person asks me to critique their artwork, I usually give them advice. And I was told that I'm rude, so it makes me just not want to be helpful. But I am gonna still try to be helpful. Because I care, and I want to see them keep going and growing. And this one person, her most recent art was amazing. Like, I actually saw her go from only using patterns to just being awesome. Like, I knew they were capable of from the beginning. I believed they could do it, and that's why I'm still subscribed to them. It's because I believed in them. Because we all start somewhere. We don't start knowing everything. We start with nothing and grow as people. Or at least that's how I felt when I was a kid. I felt like I had nothing to go off of other than other people. Don't get me wrong, I've always been told that I was a skilled artist, but if you've seen some of my beginner art, it looked exactly like some of these other people's art. When I first started drawing, my art looked exactly like theirs. Theirs was also digital, though, and digital art is way harder than, like, on paper. Because I can easily switch between, like, pens and pencils and materials. They have to go through a whole settings list. It's annoying as hell. I will say, one thing about art is make sure you're in a position to look at your art comfortably. And make sure you look at your art's face on. Because you'll notice more mistakes and errors and be able to tweak them for the next time you draw. When I kept pointing out the mistakes in my art, I feel like a lot of people got offended because they were like jealous that it was good. And I'm like, dude, I went to school for art. Of course it's gonna be good. I've been drawing for years. It's not like this is my first time drawing. I've been drawing even, like, since, like, 3rd grade. And I'm 21. I'm almost 22. Of course I'm gonna be good now. I've been drawing for years. I didn't just gain these skills overnight. That invalidates my effort. But also, just because it's good now doesn't mean it can't be better in the future. That leaves no room for improvement. I want critique. And not just like a blatant insult, no, because that's not critiquing, that's just rude. I like critique, like, but I also find it really funny when people give me the exact same critique that I already gave myself, and I'm just like, bitch, I already said that to myself when I finished drawing. I actually do go back into all of my art pieces, though, and I fix them. I fix everything I hate about them, but, like, on my bed and more comfortable, with better materials and paints. Don't get me wrong, I'm never angry when a person gives me critique, and I never take it as an insult. I just find it really funny when you say the exact same thing I've already told myself. I don't find it insulting. I don't take it as, like, anything harsh. But I also don't recommend commenting critique on just any artist's videos. Because some people cannot handle critique. I've learned that from experience. That's how you lose friends. That's also how you can get banned from YouTube comments. Is giving a person critique that they did not ask for. If I'm trash talking my art, because I think people assume that I don't talk shit about my own art. I see every mistake in my art. I go back to it to fix it because I don't want to continue drawing it forever, you know? I want to move on to the next one, usually. Or come back to it with a fresh mind rather than an old one. And trust me, I see every mistake, every imperfection. I see what I can improve. But I'm also a really harsh critic on art. Like, if you ask me what is off about a drawing, I can easily tell you. I just probably won't. because I don't want to hurt anyone's feelings, and I don't want to give them feedback that they don't want anymore. Because I'm pretty sure that's how I lost a bunch of friends. It's because I think they assumed I wouldn't... I think they assumed that I'm gonna do that to them, or try to intentionally hurt them. I don't intentionally hurt anyone. I realize I have hurt people's feelings, don't get me wrong, but I don't know immediately. I can't tell immediately. Which is why I feel a real big disconnect with people in general, and why I struggle in groups and all that. It's because I don't understand people in the same way others understand each other. Like how some people can sympathize with others, like, man, that sucks. Or, I'm so sorry for you. I'm the type of person to be like, I'll help you through this, or I know it hurts, but you'll grow, and I'll be with you every step of the way. I usually feel the emotions with the person. Whenever one of my friends cries, I cry with them and give them comfort. The way I console people is different than some of my other friends' ways of consoling people. My friend said that I'm not capable of sympathizing with people. And she's probably right. She usually is. These last few have been taking me longer. Oh yeah, I'm definitely gonna post them out of order, by the way. Probably in reverse order, honestly. Mainly just to fuck with people. Something I've always thought of is I would not want to travel to a different country if I didn't speak the main language of the country, because I'm afraid of getting lost or attacked or harmed without knowing what's going on. Which is actually why I was learning Mandarin, is because I really would like to know how to speak it so that I can visit China and stuff, because they have really nice stores. There's a certain places I'd want to visit specifically. I don't want to visit any tourist spots because I hate people and crowds. But it's a place I genuinely wanted to, like, travel to one day. I also want to learn Japanese, but that will take way longer, because you can only learn one thing at a time. Otherwise, you'll just overwhelm yourself and lose motivation. Actually, my academic advisors advised me to only take one class at a time so that I can guarantee that I'll get good grades. Because I'm smart, yes, but I get easily overwhelmed. And I won't know my limit until it's too late. Does that mean I'm gonna be in college way longer than the average person? Yes. But it's not my fault that I'm mentally slow. Something, though, I find really trashy is people who beg for money. Like, I don't need it, but if you want to help. Though I mainly use it as a way to make fun of people for making stupid comments. I will say, I don't like to make costumes. I like to make jewelry. I'm an accessories person. The person who can make costumes and will, for me, is my Sil, because she's awesome. And plus, I bought her all the materials. I also take care of her kid for her. I mean, I mainly do it so that she can actually have a job and, I don't know, make friends. Nobody's supposed to be inside all day or doing shit for other people 24/7. They need to do things for themselves. I mean, I see kids as like, they need constant attention and, people watching over them. And since our kid is not in school yet, which he will be starting soon, which is great. I do genuinely show my excitement for, like, school and classes to the kid, because I genuinely love school. I've always been that kid that loves school. I hate people from school, don't get me wrong. Most of them sucked. I hated my high school years. I was extremely bullied. But, I think that was just because they were jealous that I was awesome and they weren't. So... I hope you know that was, like, a joke. I don't like myself. I hate my company, and I am trapped in my own head. But, yeah, no. I was a weird kid. I know I was. I didn't deserve to be bullied, but, you know, I was weird, so it makes sense. But I also know that a shit ton of people had crushes on me. So, I also know that I looked gorgeous in high school. I look back at those photos and think I'm an ugly little turd, but I also don't see myself as me sometimes, so... That's why I just would rather not look at photos of myself. I also tend to try to avoid looking in the mirror too long. I used to look in the mirrors a lot, but mainly to practice facial expressions. Because I never knew what my face was doing. Anyway... Peace, love, and have a good night, my fab fans. I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye!